All right. So, here's the interesting update. So, first of all, just to give you guys a heads up, the gimbal is most definitely coming along. Made lots of progress. Got the other motor in, got the assembly put together, got the ESC board mounted to the back, got the cabling started on it. Haven't worked on the main data cable to the drone yet, but I have a small issue, courtesy of DJI apparently. So this little door back here, that you guys were remember me saying was a pain in the butt to find. The vertical arm on this drone was completely obliterated when it crashed. So this whole section here was like gone. The ESC board was gone. Everything was gone. I think I had like a fraction of the mount up here still attached to the top motor. And so the biggest concern that I had was, just getting this piece and getting the back plane. What I didn't consider, and I didn't even think I needed to worry about it, because I got a complete set of screws for a DJI Phantom 4 Pro from DJI. Well, what I ran into is that none of these screws, not a single one of that entire series, fits in those holes. There's screws in there right now that will hold the board in place, but the screws are too short. So if I put the back plane on and I put the screw in, it doesn't even reach the threads inside. So essentially what I need is these screws, but much longer. I have literally tried every single set of screws that I have to see if I can get anything to fit on there. So if anybody has a photograph of the back of their Phantom 4 Pro camera, or if they can remove one of the screws and take a picture of it and send it to me, or if somebody happens to have a crashed one and they still have the screws left over from their old one, drop them in the mail. Because needless to say, I would love to fly my drone around with the ESC board just completely exposed like that to the elements, but I'm not going to. Needless to say, I am very happy with the results of this so far. It is the new camera body that we replaced is well balanced, and as you can see, everything, it works the way I expected it to. I'm not seeing it flopping in one direction or the other. It doesn't seem to be out of whack, at least from the balance part of it. The motors won't have to work constantly to keep the camera level, which is important to me. That's what'll burn them out. Anyway, so right now what I'm thinking I'm going to do is, obviously I cannot fly it with the ESC board exposed. But what I can do is I can go ahead and put the data cable on, and I can get the rest of it wired up to the drone and attempt to see if the gimbal functions. Even though I can't fly it in that condition, I can at least have it tested and see if it works. So that's my next goal, is to do the snake, where you snake the cable all the way through. I've watched videos on it. I've watched people pull their hair out and bang their head on tables and scream and yell. So I'm prepared for all of the frustration to get that cable snake through there. Oh, and one thing, I don't know if anybody has this, but there apparently is a little plastic piece that mounts to these screw holes right here on top. It goes along the back of this that covers this cable. If anybody knows someone who might have one of those, or if they've seen one, I haven't seen one anywhere. I have looked through all of the things I can find online. If anybody knows a resource that might have that piece, I would really like it, because I was not expecting this cable to sit up as high as it did, which kind of concerns me. I don't like it exposed like that, at least not for a long term. The guys, I know that you guys are chatting in the chat, and it flies by real fast. So if I don't respond, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that by the time I look down, it disappears. So the rest of the components for the main mount that attach it to the drone are here. I've got all of the screws taped where they belong so that I didn't lose them. It's just a simple fact of going through and reassembling it to the base of the drone and running that wire through. Yes, I do get to keep it when it's all fixed, even though Ken likes to keep teasing me that, you know, I'm doing such a good job. He's ready for me to send it back. So, but yes, Ken's going to let me keep it. And I'm looking forward to being able to shoot some video with it. Obviously, you know, my initial plan was just to restore it because it is such an amazing drone. It has done so many amazing things in its life. I felt that at a minimum, it deserved to be back in flying condition. But yeah, I think I'll probably take it out and shoot some videos for my YouTube channel with it. And certainly, if I ever get an opportunity to meet up with Ken, you know, put the drones up together. So his Phantom 4 and my Phantom 4, you know, it'd be interesting to see a bunch of Twinkies flying around. Other than that, that's where she stands right now. I will let you guys know when I am ready to test the gimbal once I get that cable snake through. Probably will try to do that this weekend. Right now, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to spin up. I would love to be able to go, but, you know, obviously the 5 kids, December, you know, that's when you're sitting there trying to make all the funds kind of stretch to be able to take care of Christmas presents and Santa Claus and everything. So we will see. I'm not making any promises, but I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to say maybe. My biggest problem is that we didn't actually have transportation to get there, but this last weekend we went and did something silly and bought a brand new Yukon XL Denali. So I can't say that I don't have transportation. I just don't think my wife will let me drive it down there. So would be cool, but I think she'd probably kill me if I took it on a road trip without her. Needless to say, that's my update for right now. And once again, if anybody has the actual screws that mount this back plate on, or if you have photographs of the screw itself or photographs of the plate with the screws in it, so I know what should be in here, you know. And yes, I am already in Texas. I'm in Houston. So, trip from Houston to Austin, I think, is about three hours roughly. But the Envoy that we had previously, which is still out there, but it needs a lot of work. It was on its dying legs. Do I need a ride? I will let you know. I may take you up on that. I want to go to Spin Up. I definitely want to go up there and see all of the people that I get a chance to talk to online and that I get to work with. I haven't actually ever met Ken face to face, which I think would be a real hoot. So that's where I'm going to leave it for right now. Again, I will provide another update probably this weekend once I get the cable snake through. And I will absolutely go live when we first turn the drone on and the gimbal's attached so that you guys can see either 1, the gimbal start functioning, or 2, a huge burst of flames and a giant disaster. Anyway, you know, it's like NASCAR. Everybody wants to go and see things crash. You guys have yourselves an absolutely awesome week and more information to follow. Thank you very much for chiming in, and as I always like to say, may the good news be yours. Bye. Yes, I want to end it. Good Lord, stop asking me all these questions.